Ladies and gentlemen, trainers and casual button mashers, welcome to a very special episode of That's Entertainment with No, Not Them. The only show bold enough to ask the questions no one's been brave enough to face since 1996. Like, what is a Pokemon really? Why do 10-year-olds keep getting sent into the wilderness with wild electric mice? And of course, the age-old question, why can't that 10-year-old fit more than six of them in Pokeballs in their backpack? We'll answer all those and so much more on today's episode because Mike and I are diving Pokeball first into the cultural phenomenon that turned our childhood into lifelong addictions to catching imaginary animals. From Japan to Johto, from Pikachu plushies to Pokemon Go-induced traffic accidents. We're covering it all over the next hour. We've got the reasons to also celebrate, as this month, a brand new Nintendo Switch game, Pokémon Z-A, has dropped. The game promised new adventures, newish Pokemon, and the same excuse to ignore our real life responsibilities for over 300 hours. We'll explore how Pokemon went from a humble Game Boy cartridge to an empire of movies, memes, and more merchandise than the Vatican gift shop. And through the episode, we'll attempt the impossible to answer the eternal question: who is truly the best Pokemon? Will it be the adorable Pikachu? Will it be the majestic Charizard? Or let's be honest, will it be someone that I randomly picked just to peeve off Mike? That's right, we'll be answering all that and so much more right here on That's Entertainment. Mike, how are you?
Not Pokey much more.
Come on, it's a
Um,
cute little rendition, I
that
think.
was unhinged. That was a lot of unhinged. How am I? I'm grand. Everything's on fire. It's fine. How are you?
Everything is on fire, so that's why we decided to go like Magmar and talk about the Blazekins of all the world and talk about Pokemon for the next hour. For those who are usually tuning into this episode, this show, we just want to remind you we will be back next month with our regular scheduled episode where we talk about the entertainment industry. But as Michael and I are both relatively lifelong fans of Pokemon, we wanted to do a deep dive into this episode because it is a cultural phenomenon that has taken the world by storm. Mike,
Absolutely.
I've got to ask the very first question before I give my 2 cents. When were you first introduced to Pokemon?
Oh, when I was like 5 or 6, my cousin had the Game Boy and he was playing it, and we were going to Montreal. So we were driving to Montreal, and he was like, "Here, why don't you play it?" And I was like, "Okay." And I was young as all heck, and so I was playing it, and we played it, I think, for the entire ride there and back. And he was like, "You can't save it because I don't want you to save over my file." So we left it physically on with the like AA batteries just running in the car while we did Montreal things, and played it on the way home. They don't make batteries the way they used to. You can't do that these days, but it lasted, and we got all the way back. And then I was like, I need this. And for Christmas, I then got a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Red, and been playing ever since.
So you're
How about
you're
you?
you're an OG then.
Absolutely.
So I thought you would start like a little bit later with Pokemon Pearl or Diamond, but I
No,
am an
no.
original as well. I'm a little bit older than you, so I was one of those nerds in grade 7 and 8, no, grade 6 when Pokemon came out in 1996, and I was so excited because everyone was talking about it, but by everyone, I mean me and my like three friends that I had in grade school. So we were all talking about this brand new show, and then I watched it on anime. And, oh no, I saw it on a commercial, and I was like, I kind of want to see what this is all about. I had a Game Boy, and it was at Christmas time in I think '96 where I got Pokemon Blue, and I still have the original cartridge. I should have brought it down for the interview for the episode because I still have it because I remember writing on it because my mom was one of those great moms that would write your name and your phone number on the back of every cartridge you had. So that way, if you lent it to friends, you couldn't steal it. So Pokemon Blue was my very first one. And I remember playing it for the first time. And I remember going, why can't I catch all these Pokemon? Back in the days when you actually had the brochures that came along with the game, it said you only could catch specific Pokemon in Pokemon Blue and specific Pokemon in Pokemon Red. So you would have to trade.
Yep.
And I got frustrated. So about February or March, I think it was Easter at that time, I got frustrated to the point where I'm pretty sure my dad would have cuffed me if I was a little bit older because I was acting out. We were at Toys R Us in Ontario, where I was originally from, and he said, "Is this the one you want?" I was like, "Yes, it is. It's the one I want." And I was like so excited. Like if there was a way we could play a meme right now, that meme off of Despicable Me where the little girl gets the unicorn, she says, "This is so fluffy," that would have been me, but this is so Pokemon. So I'm an original, and I would say it kind of changed who I was because at that time Pokemon was just not even a thing. It was starting to blow up, but it wasn't as big as it is right now. So I would say
Yeah.
I have been there at the beginning. I've been at the lows, and I've seen some very big lows with this phenomenon because it has seen a lot of ebbs and flows over the last. I'm just doing basic math here. Almost 25 years. Oh no, almost 20 years. 20. Nine,
25.
nine, 96. Yeah, 5 years. I could
Almost
do.
30. I think
Oh,
I don't do
yeah,
math.
29. You're right. They're almost 30 years. So, oh my God, I feel so old right now.
Well, I see, I was blessed that my brother and we would get the opposite games so that we could trade. And we would always do one of us would get all of the starters and then the other would reset and we would just keep trading till so we could have all of them. And we had the link cable and like it was big. I was a menace in elementary school. It was me and this one other kid named Paul. The two of us, we would all battle and then it would always end up being him and I at the end. And he'd always beat me because as children do, we would get one Pokemon and overlevel it, and then everything else would be trash. He overleveled the one thing that could beat my one thing, and I just couldn't win. I can't beat it. It's beating me. So,
So, for those who don't know how Pokemon came about, the Cole's Note version of how Pokemon came to be was the gentleman who started the sort of the company that became Pokemon was an avid, or his father, or some connection to family member was an avid bug collector. So
yes.
he took his sort of love of collecting bugs and showcasing bugs into a virtual reality game, which was Pokemon at the time in Japan. I think it was 94, 95 when it originally came out, which in Japan it was Pokemon Green and Pokemon Red, I believe, were the
Yes.
original two games. And when they Americanized or westernized, I should say, the Pokemon game. It became Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Red. In '96, when it came out here in America and Northern America, it kind of became the staple. And I think Japan kind of caught up to where America was or North America was because I think Japan had sort of an idea of what it wanted to go, but when it blew up in North America, it has become this cultural phenomenon because it probably could have just stayed into a unique Japanese entity of its own. But when America took over and Canada and Europe, it sort of became this global phenomenon where everyone was talking about Pokemon in the 90s.
Well, Pokemon also defined the creature catching genre of video games. It essentially was the first and became the blueprint for what there is today, which it's a huge, huge, huge thing in Japan. Um, my brother plays all of them. Like it became a massive thing specifically because it was so unlike anything else. And folks like the idea of collecting these little things and then battling these little things together. And like it's fun. It's entertaining and it's great. I enjoy it.
And
It keeps me sane.
it was the first virtual, it was the first game during the sort of console beginning wars when PlayStation was started coming out. Xbox still hadn't made a big thing, but Sega Dreamcast was there, and then Nintendo. It was the first game where you could literally go and play with other people. Yes, there was games that you could play on the Game Boy, but it was the first game where you actually had to make friends. So it became a
Yep.
way to connect with other people as well. So in my childhood, growing up, like when I met a fellow, and I'm gonna call a spade here, but I'm a nerd. Case in point, I'm for those who are listening to this episode, I have a big giant Pikachu sitting right beside me because that's the type of nerd I am. So when I started playing Pokemon, when I found a fellow Pokemon nerd, it was like, oh my God, you're my new best friend. So let's talk about every single Pokemon and all the stats that we know. Now I don't know all of them because, I'm 30 years older than I was when it first came out, which I'm still kind of flabbergasted at that, but I'm just here nor there. So when people talk about Pokemon, it's not just a game anymore. It's a cultural sort of bridge between two people who might not have anything in common, but when you talk about, hey, who's your favorite Pokemon? When's your first game that you came out with? There's a way that you can connect and bridge those cultural divides that we often see in our societies in 2025.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was designed to, that's why your frustration of not having all of them in one game, that's where that kind of came from was we're going to connect and it's going to force folks to engage with each other, where a lot of video gaming at the time was very sit down by yourself and play the one video game, not necessarily play with others. It was designed originally to be a creature catcher, which is why a lot of the original game, the original Pokemon from that game, are terrible in terms of modern day games because they weren't designed to be battling. They were designed to be catch 'em all and trade and like maybe add a little battling. And when they created the second game, it was somewhat of a direct, not an indirect sequel to the original. They started to overhaul it, but it wasn't until the third or fourth that they really kind of fine-tuned it. Yeah.
So it has spanned over, as we said, 30 years, and it has spanned more than just video games, whether it be Pokemon Gold, Silver, Diamond, Pearl, Emerald. I'm just thinking of the other ones, Crystal. I think there was one called that, Black and White, X and
Yep.
Y. Game Boy was basically the Pokemon Central of where you would go and you would have to buy a new game system every time a new Pokemon game came out, which unfortunately that's what happened in this time. And we're going to talk about Pokemon Z-A here in a few minutes, but also Pokepedia, if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not, but it's the new Nintendo Switch game where you can play as Ditto, but it's like a morph of Animal
Oh,
Crossing.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that as well. But it also it expanded into the world of television. It expanded into the
Hmm.
a realm of movies. It expanded into the realm of board games. Like Pokemon began even still to this day, and we've all seen the memes on social media where traders are running into Costco's or London Drugs here in Canada or Toys R Us to pick up the new pack of Pokemon or collect the big boxes of Pokemon so they can have Pokemon card opening parties so they can try and get the big Umbreon that's worth $10,000 or the Charizard first edition, which is worth over $100,000. So Pokemon expanded into a realm of not just video games. Why do you think it has transcended just the video games? Because I've seen many times where video games have tried to do what Pokemon has done, but Pokemon kind of was able to capture the market. Was it just timing or was it the sort of the sense of what it was all about?
Well, before I answer that question, you mentioned that first edition Charizard. I owned it as a kid. And I stupidly traded it away. I was dumb and young. I didn't know. I didn't have any concept of this. My brother and I, we had all these cards we shared, and we wanted this one specific Chansey, and we were like, all right, we'll trade Charizard. Who cares? Yeah, regret
Every
that knowing how.
every Pokemon fan who is watching this episode has literally just went click, turned off the
Uh-huh.
TV for that. I even feel like I need to do that. How dare you? No, don't get me wrong.
It
I
was
had things that I should not have given away of well as well, and I'm like, oh God, maybe I shouldn't.
Yep. It was like the perfect storm. They saw it growing in popularity and they said, okay, how can we capitalize on this? Okay, people like, I think at the time, Magic the Gathering was like the only trading card game. And so they
And
said,
it
oh,
wasn't even that
let's,
big at the time.
no. And so they went, okay, people kind of like this is a way to get kids into the trading card scene. This is a way to get like kids want, it was geared towards kids, but it was also like, okay, this works with young adults, teens, adults, etc. So how can we maybe bridge that gap and create this? So like we got all the cards. We got the toys, the stuffed animals, the this, the that. Like we watched the movie. We saw it in theaters because you could go to the theater and you would get a specific little Mew card. Like all this stuff, like it was huge, and it was because like McDonald's, they had the McDonald's tie-in with the movies, and
Do you remember
they
the Burger King
really,
tie-ins with the
yes,
gold bars?
yep.
I,
Oh,
I am
I probably
so
have some at my
ups
mother's.
I'm so upset that when I moved out west, I got rid of all of them. It's like, I'm an old person now, so I gotta act responsible. And I'm so pissed off because those things were amazing with the little Pokeballs. They don't
Yeah,
make
we
toys like they
had
used to.
no, we had all that stuff. We probably still have a ton of it at my mother's house actually, because she's like saving it all for grandchildren that I don't know if she's gonna get. Sorry, mom. Uh,
What do you mean you have two dogs now?
that's what I said. Granted, they're the size of the toys, the little dogs, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, it
So,
just
but
they
it all
leaned
comes
into
down
it.
to their catchphrase, right? It's literally got to catch them all. And
Yep.
I think that's the marketing's plan that I think Pokemon did so well because it
Yeah.
instilled upon you, oh, there's a card game, got to catch all the Pokemon cards, got to get every single one of them. Oh, there's a new board game. Oh, got to make sure I got all the new board games that come along with it.
Hmm.
So it became sort of like literally Funko has done it well. Once Funko became the Pokemon, I started collecting the Funko. I already collected Funkos beforehand, but I started collecting them because it's like I got to make sure I got catch every single Pokemon that they come out because I want to make sure that I have them so my collection is complete. It became sort of my awakening into ADHD to try to figure out if I can collect every single Pokemon. And I'm not making a joke that people who have ADHD, I apologize for that immensely, but I'm just saying if you play Pokemon, if you have ADHD, I would highly recommend you don't because you will become very addictive very quickly in that. When it comes to marketing, they have marketed Pokemon
Yeah.
to all generations. When in 96 it was just a children's game. Now it's a game where people 40, 50, even 30, 20 can play it because you grew up with Pokemon, so the nostalgia is still there. Do you think, and I'm going to ask this sort of hypothetical, do you think there's going to be a time when Pokemon becomes too big for its britches and it becomes the, ugh, do we really have to do another game? Like, can we not just like let this thing die? Or do you think it's always going to be that sort of constant in our world?
Well, I mean, I think it's already there. Every single time they release a game, you see folks say, "I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like X, Y, and Z. I don't like whatever it is." They have a re like. There's always folks that drop off, but the thing that people don't always realize is while folks are dropping off, folks are now jumping on, and a lot of the young kids are now becoming fans and finding it and starting to explore the world and like it's always gonna there's always gonna reach that point. You see it with every video game. You see it with most like fan conglomerate media companies. There once you get to a certain point where Pokemon is currently at, it you see that fall off. And then you see things like, oh, Pokemon Go brought a bunch of new people in that didn't realize that now started playing the game and realized how much they loved it. Like Pokemon has diversified its portfolio. Ooh, look at me with that word, by the way. Diversified its portfolio enough
What'd you get on
where
your
they can do that.
SATs?
Ketchup. Sorry, that was um yeah, it's one of those like it has enough hands and enough pots that like you don't necessarily have to play the game to be a fan of it. And like the old games have replayability and there's a huge modding community where folks are going in and they're making their own fan-based versions or they're going in and they've made competitive challenge modes to these games. Like there's so many different ways to play that Pokemon didn't necessarily even intend and aren't creating games for. You see a lot of people complain about it on the internet that they want these modes and these things to be added in, but at its core, this is a children's game. It is designed for children. That is why there's a 5 hour tutorial at the beginning of every game, much to my annoyance. Um,
Well, I just
but
want to
it's
pick up on
designed
that for a
for,
second. I just want to
yeah.
pick up on that for a second and get your opinion on this because I think Pokemon has done something that other games have failed to learn how to do. You can pick up Pokemon Black and play Pokemon Black from beginning to end and not have to play Pokemon Red to understand the issues of what
Hmm.
Pokemon Black is. This current game, Pokemon Z-A, that just came out in October, You can play that today and not have to play the original. I don't remember what game Lumino City is originally from, so Mike is gonna just quickly tell me what that
X and
is.
Y.
X and Y. You don't need to play X and Y to understand what's going on in Pokemon Z-A. And I think
Yeah.
that's where Pokemon has done wonders because
Yep.
every other game that I've ever played or I've ever gone through, like hypothetically, I'm just throwing this out there because it was on the top of my head right now. Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, Final Fantasy 1 through 10. Every single game, you had to understand the story of what was happening beforehand to understand what was happening in this game. Literally, the only thing you need to know about Pokemon when you go in and buy a new game is you have to collect them all. That's it. You have to go
Yep.
around, battle, beat gyms, beat the big boss, and you win the game. And you don't need to know all the Pokemon's names because we're going to add some new ones. We're going to give you some details about who the old ones are. And I think that's where they've actually succeeded, where others have faltered. It is a game that you can literally, as like, there was a few years where I didn't play Pokemon. I didn't play X and Y. I didn't play Black. I think I played Black and White, but I think there was a version after Black and White that I didn't play. And I was able to go in every single time and go, oh, this is new. But I didn't have to relearn the entire story or go back to the
Yeah.
original where I stopped and have to play that all over again to understand the storyline.
Well, even then, like they very rarely do sequels. A lot of the times you get the next series of games and it sometimes has callbacks like Gold and Silver was designed to be the like sequel and finish, but even with it, they kept it very generic. Like you saw a couple of people come back, you saw the ones that you used to like come back, but other than that, that was it. Whereas with I think there's only out of the mainline games, which is the ones that are based on color names or rubies or whatever, like Black and White 2 are the only direct sequels for a mainline game, and you can pick that game up today and not have played a single other game and know exactly what's going on because they explain it to you. And they have dumbed it down because it's for children and they never know when someone they want someone to be able to pick up a game and be able to play it without having to play years and years and years of stuff, especially stuff that's graphics are outdated, that's battle formats and trade styles and things like that are outdated. Like there's certain things that you just it's not worth like I don't want to say it's not worth it to play the original red and blue and yellow, but like a lot of times I've tried playing those games now years later. They're outdated. Like they're fun, they have replayability, but like why play that when I can just play Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is the updated version with all the updated stuff? Or now with this Legend Z-A, it could be a sequel, but they really steered away from even including characters from the original X and Y in this. Like there's I think one, maybe two, and they don't even really it doesn't factor in as like a if you didn't play, you won't know who this person is because he says this is who I am and this is what I did and this is why I'm a bad person and this is why I'm trying to be a good person. Great, love that. Like I don't need to play this. I don't need to remember what previously happened to enjoy this.
So before we turn to the newest game, and that is Pokemon Z-A that just came out in October, gotta sort of put the first unanswerable question to you because everyone's gonna have a different opinion. What was your favorite Pokemon game growing up? And don't include this current iteration that just came out just this month.
Uh like growing up, I would have told you hands down, no, like it was the blueprint for what I wanted moving forward was gold and silver.
Okay.
However, the mindset now as an adult and like as someone who's gone back and replayed, I think Platinum is the honestly, if you're looking for a great place to start, Platinum is phenomenal. It is a manageable amount of Pokemon to catch. It is a great story and a great pathing through the game because it's not open world, but it's fairly open exploration. So like it's a very strong pathing, and it also has something post game that people have been begging for since that game, which started in Emerald and became perfected in Platinum, which is the Battle Frontier. So like a lot of the like things that people love directly came from Platinum. It's a phenomenal game. It's a phenomenal like it's just what people wanted. It's just and it's what a lot of folks are still looking for. I do think that Black and White are really strong as well, specifically Black and White 2. But I think if you're looking at like for me as a kid, I would have said gold and silver. Now platinum. How about you?
I'm gonna be OG. I have to be OG because it's the thing that started this whole craze for me, right? Is Pokemon Red. I
Mm.
know Pokemon Red and Blue. I wouldn't even say Yellow in there because Yellow I find was just basically the exact same gameplay. It's just the only thing that Pokemon said was, "Oh, people really like the fact that Pikachu follows Ash around in the anime game, so let's literally put that into a video game and just copy paste and paint the cartridge yellow." So I'm not a big fan of Yellow. It's still the same game at the end of the day, but I would say for me, it would be red and blue, and that's just because it's originally, and that's where I grew up on. And I will always be a fan of anything OG. Going forward, though, like if there's one that I can say that was probably the one where I got upset the most because I kept on getting like kept on running into blocks is Pokemon Black and White. And the only reason I say that is because at the time it was on the 3DS, which is the 3D version of the Nintendo Game Boy. And every single time that I played it, it was only in 3D. And I was very upset because I can't see 3D pictures when look at things. I know there was a thing afterwards, but I did not realize that because, okay, just because you're younger than me doesn't mean you need to tell the boomers how to get things done around here. Okay. For those who
There
are
was a little
listening,
switch. There was a little switch on the side of the 3DS that would turn off the 3D. And I know this because the 3D made me motion sickness. And I went, click, don't need that.
yeah. So I would say that was my favorite one. And it was not my favorite one, but it was the one that I played and I went, okay, this is getting a little challenging for me. It was still easy, but I was still at the point where it's like, okay. And I hadn't played for a few years. Like I didn't play Diamond and Pearl when it originally came out. I didn't play Sapphire and Emerald when it came out. So those were like I went blue, red, blue, silver, gold, and then I went right into black and white because there was a few that I
Hmm.
just completely missed. I like Omega Red, I think there was a one called there, or the
Yep.
Omega version. So there was a few that I missed, and then I once black and white came out, I started playing a little bit more just because at the time I was going through work and all that. So I would say for me, blue and red will always be my favorite and will always be the thing, the gold standard of what Pokemon is. But Pokemon Black and White is where I came back and I said, okay, they made it a little bit more challenging, let alone it's still challenging to boot, but here we are. I wanted to quickly turn to the big other question that's on everyone's mind before we talk about this new iteration of Pokemon. And it's a question that I've been asking myself because I know that this question was in the introduction. I want to make sure we get it in the record. Who is, after almost 1,000 Pokemon, if not a little bit more than 1,000 Pokemon now on the Pokédex, the national Pokédex as they call it, do you have an official top? I'm gonna say this. Who are your top three in descending order? So three, two, one to so the third place, second place, and first place. Who are your top three?
I don't know how to answer this question. I'm going to be so
Well,
honest.
I'm putting you on the spot here. You have to.
Of course. Um, I don't know if this is the exact order, but I would probably say Dragonite, Espeon, and Meganium.
So if my editor, aka me, has done this correctly, we'll have photos there that show what we're talking about. So you're not going, "What are you talking about, Chris?"
Because I picked weird niche ones, and I'm so sorry. But I don't know. Like, I'm
So
is
let's just recap:
really
Dragonite, Espeon,
yes,
and who was the third?
Meganium.
Meganium. Wow, deep dive for Meganium there. Wow.
Everybody hates on her. I love her so much. When I got silver, I picked her because she was obviously you know, and I just love her and I love everything about her. And she's the one that I got always beat up because my friend Paul had Firo and I could not beat the bird. Um, just love her. Dragonite, love Dragonite. That was always because you couldn't easily get him, and he was so difficult. And when I got him, it was like the best day ever. And then Espeon is just my favorite Eevee. And if everyone has a favorite Eevee evolution, like I feel like everyone's top whatever is gonna have an evolution, and it just by definition,
I feel
yours
out of
doesn't.
place. Mine does not. Mine really does not, and I feel really bad that it doesn't now. Now you're making me think that I have an Eevee, but then I'm going through all
No.
of them, and I'm going. There's not one that I can go. Yeah, this is the one that I want. So for me, and this is in no particular order, but I'm gonna put them in the order that I think right now, as of recording this at the end of October. I would say number three for me is Lapras.
Okay.
I know that's a weird one, but I think it's the one that
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is great." Number two, and I forget his name. Oh, Entei, legendary Pokemon from Gold and Silver, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And
Yep.
my favorite Pokemon of all time, and this is the Pokemon that will always be in my team, no matter what. Pidgeot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I don't know. Pidgeot has always been one of those ones that I was like, I feel like I could be best friends with Pidgeot, and I don't care. And there was a craze for a few years there where everyone was walking around with the Pidgeot haircut, and I was like laughing internally every time I saw them. It made me think of Pidgeot. So there you go.
Real sidebar. Have you seen the meme where everyone says the picture of Pidgeot in this new game looks like Roxy Andrews?
No.
It's so
Does
funny.
does it?
Someone said it to me, and I saw that, and I went, "Stop! I can't unsee this now." Like
So for
it's
those who
just,
don't know who you're talking about, who is Roxy Andrews?
she's a drag queen from RuPaul Drag Race, and it's just, I don't know what it is. I just, someone sent this to me, and I looked at it and I went, I see it. I see it. I understand completely what you're saying. When you see the little picture, the little square, because there is Pidgeot in this game, and I'm sure you're going to be using it, if not
Oh,
already using it.
he's my number two man.
Yeah. Who
Who's
did you
your?
pick as your starter?
I will get in that into a few seconds
I
here
just,
because
because I'm
we're
sure you already know who mine is.
yeah, no, I don't know. What are you talking about? So before we go and talk about this new game, my final big question for you, because I have my thoughts about what they could do to improve. What could Pokemon do to improve its gameplay?
They need to develop a post game. They need to. Right now, there's nothing. You finish the game, you wait for the DLC to come out. You get the DLC, and then there's nothing to do but battle and trade with people. And they try and do like these, oh, on weekends, you can battle this big giant version of this Pokemon and catch it, and you can get rewards, and that's great. But like they need to, honestly, they need to put the Battle Frontier back into these games. It's something to do post game for people that like I'm not going to competitions. I'm too old for that. I'm not anywhere near the level to have the time, energy, desire to go travel the world and battle these things. And my brother and my friends, we aren't really necessarily battling 24/7 all the time. I just want to play the game and I want to do the Battle Frontier. I want to do something that's going to give me a challenge and give me a reason to like create interesting, unique teams without having to like find people all the time to battle. Because sometimes I work all day and it's 10 o'clock at night, and who wants to connect with people at 10 o'clock at night to do things like battle? So it needs a post game. It needs something that's not story driven for you to come back to keep doing. They were doing it for a bit with the battle tower, but now even that's been removed. So like what are we doing? There's no reason for me to keep playing this game after I've done everything and caught everything, and I'll try and like make a competitive team to battle with my brother, and then by the time we're all ready to do it, we do it once and go, that was fun, and then never do it again and the game sits.
For me, and this is very much just a personal uh, anger. Stop with the downloadable content, Pokemon. Just stop.
Hmm.
I'm sick and tired of it. Like, go back to the original way that you had the games, like back where red and blue and gold and silver and emerald and black and white and X and Y. We don't need extra content. Put it all in the game up front, especially with what happened in this game with Pokemon Z-A. Literally, the day it was dropped, you had downloadable content. I'm sorry, but that upsets me. I'm not going to pay an extra $39.99 for downloadable content when I just paid $100 for the original game. Just put it in the game and then in a year's time, then come out with the downloadable content. Don't do it the day the game drops. it makes it look like you were sloppy and you rushed it to market. And in my case, which we're going to talk about in a few seconds, I kind of think you did. What's your
I
thoughts on that?
disagree. I disagree a little on that. I think that especially now, the modern day gaming is DLC comes. Animal Crossing did it. They've all kind of been doing it. Pokemon stepped into it, and I think because right now it's the pre-order, so you get like an outfit if you pre-order the game. So I wouldn't even necessarily classify right now what you can buy as downloadable content because it's not getting released until February of 2026. Like they're still developing it, working on it. I I I think that sometimes it's handled well, sometimes it's handled sloppily. I'm curious how this one goes. I think that it is a great premise. I think that it's an interesting concept to add it in. I just think that maybe instead of letting us know up front that you're going to be putting it in, maybe wait and then like in February say good news, March we're going to have something like it's this idea of you have to know more content is coming and that I wouldn't even blame that Pokemon company. I would blame the fans who have hopped on since it got on the Switch and said why isn't there downloadable content announced to be coming the minute it comes out? Like because they did that with Sword and Shield. They were screaming we need DLC, we need DLC, we need DLC. And then finally they came out with it. They were like, so we have it coming out. So now it's like, if they don't immediately say this is going to be happening, fans lose their minds. Like with Legends Arceus, which was one of the previous titles, folks are still mad that there's no downloadable content for that. So like it's win or you lose. Like there's no like pleasing everybody. So that's why I'm like I disagree a bit with it. Like they have to announce it, but then they're going to get raked over the coals for announcing it. And so it's like I don't know if there's an easy solution here.
There might not be, but I just don't like it. I don't like that you have to download parts of the game anymore. And that's just me being personal thing around it. If you release a game like back in the 70s, wow, I'm aging myself. Back in the 90s, back in the
Not the
90s,
70s.
when you had games, it would literally be a cartridge and that's it. You would literally get
Yep.
the cartridge and that was the game. Now it makes me feel like if I don't buy this, I'm going to possibly miss out on something. And I know that's the whole thing that we just talked about 20 minutes ago, but got to catch them all. But you can't catch a Pokemon Raichu X and Y if you don't download the downloadable content that is going to be coming out here in February. But can we just get back to the old ways where like give me a game and let me play it and that's it. I'm happy with it. Maybe expand it a little bit, maybe make it more open world. I just want to not have to go. Maybe do something online where you can all join into a battle frontier of yourself and every Pokemon trainer who logs in can go around battling other people online, literally in an open world game. My thoughts again, I know I'm going to get angry emails probably from that three nerds that are listening to this who are watching this as well, who are like, well, Chris, you're wrong. Maybe I'll just get emails from Michael. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to give you angry emails. I think because it's one of those things that people are very divided on it. And I think especially with this game in particular, people are very, very much divided because it feels because like you said, you thought it was an immediate, like it's right here and you can't get it because they started already showing things for it before the game was even out. So it feels like it's already out, but it's not. It's very polarizing. And I think that like the way they're going about it is wrong, but I don't necessarily hate that they're doing that, if that makes sense.
So I want to turn to the game. The newest game that has just come out is
Sure.
Pokemon Z-A, and we got about 15 minutes left in the episode. So we have 15 minutes to talk about this new game. Michael, your highs, your lows, what's your initial thoughts on this game so far?
I just rolled credits this afternoon. I
Oh, so
had a
you're
free
done.
moment and well, sort of. Because you roll credits and then there's like a little bit of after story. So I'm in the middle of that, but I did finish the like main arc of the game. Um, I really liked it. I think it was a really strong addition into this genre world, etc. I think my biggest frustration and where I think that they missed the mark is that there was no new Pokemon added. There was no regional forms, no new evolutions, no nothing. Like we had a couple, we had new mega evolutions, which is great. I love that. Like that's brilliant. But like this is the one of the for a while. I usually get this game and have it beaten very quickly because I'm so excited to play it. I paced myself more with this one because there was nothing I wanted to use on my team. I had my Meganium because I started with her, and I love that they made her a fairy in this. Obsessed with that, by the way. I think her Mega as a fairy is great, and I like the concept and I love the idea of it. It's just where I was frustrated is I didn't want to use any of these people. And like with the way that this battle system is set up, as I was trying to do interesting stuff with it, I'm like, there's no point in having interesting movesets. Just pick four moves that hit really quick and charge really quick. And there you go, with a bunch of things that are, it's like everything in it is a mega or is one from the original X and Y game. Like there's very few filler Pokemon that are just there to be there. Like, and like, there's no reason to even equip anything. It's my team right now is all six Pokemon that mega because you can mega every single Pokemon at some specific time because it's on a timer. Like, I feel like they needed to flush out the battle system, and that's the thing. This is a really fun battle system. I love the idea of it. I think where I'm missing the turn based and I'm missing the strategy behind that because this it really does feel like caveman pick up weapon and hit. Like it doesn't feel as nuanced and as strategy driven as you get with the original games. And I've done some of the online ranked battling because you to get one of the mega stones, you have to compete in it on some level. And I'm sitting there going, I don't necessarily think this is fun because everybody's using the same three Pokemon. And if you try to use different ones, you might get a little bit of success, but it's going to make it harder and be less fun because you get ganged up on. So unless you're using, there's like the entirety of online meta right now is like six different Pokemon, and
Really?
that's it. Yeah, and it's not fun. So I think they're going to have to do something to figure that out, and there's no reason to attach any of the other items or have any kind of interesting strategy because like there's no point. There's no point. You're not going to get anywhere with it. And like the free for all is such a cool concept. The idea behind having it be this live action, live real time strategy. There's no strategy. It's literally pick button, hit, pick button, hit. Like I don't know. For me, that has made the game feel kind of frustrating, especially since they started introducing the regional forms. It was a great way to bring in Pokemon. Like I love the monkeys, Simipour, Simisear, Simisage, these cute little elemental monkeys. That was such a cool concept. They could have brought in regional forms for them and had them maybe attach a different like type with the fire water grass so that they're now a dual type. Like there's things they could have done to add in more like interest or even have the three starters have a regional form for I think that would have been such an interesting idea that it just parts of that fell flat. Like I've already collected all these, I've already used all these. None of these are interesting me right now. How about you?
Off the bat, I thought it was much better than Legends Arceus, which is the sort of the first
Hmm.
of the three, the trilogy that they're making around Legends, supposedly. Don't sue me, Pokemon. I don't know any leaks. I'm not that leak guy, so that's some other person on Twitter. Or X, sorry, Elon Musk. Um, I think it was much better than the original, the first Arceus. I think there's some downfalls to it as well. I don't like the fact that you're very much enclosed into this city. I think they should have
Hmm.
expanded it a little bit more, but that's just me. I don't like the fact that there is no, as you said, no quote unquote new Pokemon. Understandable why they didn't do that because it is traditionally in a land that you have already visited, quote unquote, which is through Black and or X and Y. The other thing that I really am having a hard time with, I don't like, and I think you and I are on the same page here, but I think I don't like it for a different reason than you. I don't like the new battle setup.
Hmm.
I'm not ambidextrous, so doing two things at once with my fingers is just not going to work at all. So if I have to dodge an attack while trying to plan my other attack, it's just not going to work. Maybe that's why I didn't like Pokemon Legends Arceus as well, but I think the battle system in Pokemon Z-A has gotten me to the point where I'm just getting frustrated, where I have to do three things at once. And when I'm playing a game, I just don't want to have to think. I feel like I'm thinking a lot when I'm playing this game. And for those who are listening right now and laughing at me, yes, I can think and walk at the same time. But when I'm playing games, I just don't want to think. So I think that is the downfall of that as well. The other thing that I find very frustrating, screw it. I don't like the fact that there's not enough things to do.
Fair enough.
There's too many side missions, but all the side missions are very simple, very quick. And every time you talk to someone, oh, do you have this Pokemon? Yeah, I do. Here you go. Like, give me a challenge where I actually have to walk through like 12 different things before I get an award, not just one. Now, I know they have the major quests, which are understandable, but there's not enough long-term quests. There's usually those one-off quests that's like, hey, can you go get me this person at this cafe and make sure they understand what's going on? Oh, here you go. The one thing I found fun was when you had to catch the three uh who are the three oh my God, the fox, the toad, and the oh my God, I'm blanking
Oh,
on
Delphi or Froakie, Chestnut,
yeah, and the
or I think that's
fox.
the whatever the original starters from X and Y.
Yeah, so when you had to do, I found those fun because it was something that you had to go and actually do, and there was things you had to do along the way. Some of these you just one off. It's like, okay, no, like I want to enjoy and actually spend some time
Yeah.
doing this instead of just one-offs and have to do 15 one-offs. Make it one 15 quest series, and then I'll be a little bit more happy. I think it was that was the downfall for me. Overall, gameplay is different. I don't like the fact they have to wait for nighttime to battle people. I don't like the fact that you have to only catch Pokemon in certain areas. And I still can't catch Delibird because every time that I sneak up behind him, he sees me and then he runs off. So I still have not caught that in zone whatever. I think it's zone 10, which is the snow zone. So there's a few things I'm just not liking. The one thing I will say that I truly do like, I like the graphics.
That's a hot bed of contention because people are real mad about the windows on the internet because they don't look good enough. Oh yeah, people are saying the game is terrible because the windows look bad. And I'm like, you are playing Pokemon for the graphics? That is insane.
If you're playing
Nobody
Pokemon
plays
for the
Pokemon for the
Windows,
graphics.
no.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I yeah, I think that like it's I don't mind the city. I don't mind the wild zones. I find some of the wild zones very small. I don't like that all of the Pokemon are attacking me. Not my Pokemon, me. Like, wait till you get Wild Zone 17. There's a whole like pride of lion Pokemon that attack me, not my Pokemon. I'm like chased out of that zone. And of course, it's the only place you can get Skarmory, which I need. And I to this, I have not been able to catch it. And there's one Skarmory and 47 of these lions attacking me. And I'll be on the roof. They're on the ground. I'm on the roof. They're attacking me. They're somehow managing to hit me. I'm on the roof. I'm, you'll get there. You'll understand. You'll be as triggered as I am.
So speaking of memes that we watched online, I was watching I think it was a Instagram short, which probably started in TikTok or wherever the heck you want to call it, that this game reminds a lot of people of The Purge
Yes.
because you can only battle people at night. You get ranked up like Battle Royale, the movie, and then I think the other one was you have to go from rooftop to rooftop like Assassin's Creed. So whoever in Game Freak was making this movie game must have been watching some really weird stuff at the time, which I kind of agree.
Oh, if you sit on the bench, you can immediately make it nighttime. So anytime you find a bench, if you sit there, it'll immediately be like you can say, I want to kill time till night, and it'll immediately turn the game to night.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to battle people throughout the entire time. I don't know. Maybe that's just me and my crazy ability to want to kick people. So
Wow, aggressive.
just a little. So Pokemon Z-A is the newest addition into the realm of Pokemon. Where do you rank it among all the games?
Well, it's a spin-off.
Okay, no, I know,
So
but it is still a game because Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, while it's a spin-off, is still technically a game, and it still ranks as one of the lowest games out there for Pokemon. So where would you rank Pokemon Z-A, even it being a spin-off?
I think it's middle. I think it's very much in the middle right now for me. I think that I want to see what they do with the DLC to see if it rises. I think that it's a lot of fun. I think the biggest issue, or the biggest, not issue, the biggest thing from it is where do we go from here? Like, we just created all these megas. We brought it back after two or three games in a row where it was completely removed. So, what is the plan now? We've not had megas since Alola. Where do we go from here? And we just and a lot of these Pokemon, their megas are interesting. I want to use them in a traditional style of gameplay. I think that it has the potential to get people back, and I know that they're in the process of doing like bringing back the N64 Battle Stadium and doing something with that style, and they're working on that, and I know that's already been, I think, announced. So it's one of those like I'm curious how this all translates to that. And if that becomes maybe the ultimate, like the penultimate game where you just catch everything in the games and then transfer it to that and use it there. I don't know what that means moving forward, but I'm curious to see where it goes from here. How
So
about
the
you?
uh I'd say probably low to mid bottom of the game pack. I
Okay.
think it's good, but I think it's that I've seen a lot better games.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say it's probably the best, but it was, and I'm still playing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not at the credits or at the, I'm not, what did you call it? The roll, the credit roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's when you get the credits because the credits pop up. They usually every
Oh
Pokemon
yeah.
game they pop up like three
So
times. So I'm at
I've
the
never,
first time that the credits roll.
I haven't got to that part yet. So I'm still in it and battling it out. So I haven't beaten much of it because been just swamped over the last few weeks with busyness. But I need to ask the question that I think everyone who's played the game is probably asking themselves. What is your true thoughts on this mega evolution of Starmie?
I hate it. I hate it so much. My brother loves it. He thinks it's so funny. It's a stupid meme. I hate it. It's dumb. I hate it so much, and I will take hate for hating it. I hate it like ooh, the flames on the side of my face. I think it's lazy. I get what they're going with. It's the Starman trope. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's ugly.
Who's your favorite mega in this one?
I think Drampa is really interesting.
I was
Um,
about to say the exact same thing.
I really like how he looks. I really like I do like Meganium. I don't love Meganiums. Um,
You
I
don't
love
like
Meganium as a
you don't
Pokemon.
like the ribbed neck?
It's just like, all right, let's just put a bunch of flowers. Cool. I think Delphox has a really interesting one as well. Um, the Witch on the Broom. I think they outdid themselves with many of these megas, but also some of them are just stupid. Like Excadrill, we just made the drills bigger. Lame. Starmie, we just gave it legs. I
Victory
hate
Bell,
it.
we just closed his mouth.
I fear I really like Victory Bell. It's
Can't
no,
win
no, no.
with
Hold
I
on,
can't
hold
win
on.
with
It's based on the Bag of Winds from Greek mythology. It's like based on a very specific thing, and I think that's really interesting as a concept. I would never have thought of it, but I'm like, that's so cool.
I will never win with you, will I? I could say the
We
sky is
do,
blue and you'll be like, the sky is aquamarine. Chris, what are you talking about?
so you like Starmie, I take it.
Oh no, no, no.
So
I
we do
wouldn't
agree.
okay, we can agree on like 48% of things. 52% of the time we will never agree because we I think we have different opinions on a lot of things. Um,
That's why people watch us.
that's what they tell us. My one thing that I'm just trying to remember what his name is. So you haven't got this out of me yet. So I'm gonna drop this ball in the last 2 minutes before we wrap up. My starter Pokemon. Who do you think I chose?
Totodile.
Oh, really? Why?
Is that who you picked?
Yeah, but why?
It feels like a you pick. Like, Tepig's cute, but I feel like you'd be like, Embor, who cares? Chikorita, definitely way too gay for you. I think Totodile is like very much a super fun, he's quirky, he's interesting, and his mega evolution is or not mega, in his final evolution for Alligator is just interesting enough where you'd be like, I like that little crocodile man. I feel like that's who you picked in Gold and Silver, and that's why
Nope.
it's like, I get to use him again. Oh, you picked? Cyndaquil.
So I'm usually a fire guy right at the beginning, right? So this game, I literally like I kind of went on a side, just okay, I'm gonna play this game, but I'm gonna play it like I've never played another game in my life. So I would never have chosen Totodile to begin with, ever. Never liked them as a
Really?
character. Was not a fan of it. I was always a Cyndaquil fan. I was a Tepeg fan. So I was like, maybe I should go there. But I was like, nope, I'm going to try something completely different. So this is the first time I've actually played a game with Totodile in my team. And I can tell you, I'm not a fan.
Really? Oh, I think
I
he's so cute.
I don't
He's
like
also the
his,
meta right now.
what do you mean?
He's one of the six that people use online.
Oh, I'm not a fan of him at all. You know who I had in my game I had for the longest time. I had Star Raptor. Like that was my go-to for the first like 5 rounds. It was Star Raptor because I was just like aerial wing, aerial wing, aerial wing, just kicking everyone's ass.
Star Raptors in this?
Yeah,
Or are you talking about Pidgeot?
no, Star Raptor. Yeah, because his first evolution is no, what the
S-
hell?
Starly and Staravia.
Yeah, yeah, they're the first two. Yeah.
Hmm.
No, not who's the fire one? Who's the firebird?
Talonflame.
Talonflame. That's the one who I had in. I don't
I
know.
was like, wait, I have not caught that one, and I have 221 out of 230 caught. And I'm like, I am missing a very easy to find one then, if that's the case.
No, sorry, you're right. Talonflame. That's who I have in my That's who I have. For some reason, I had Star Raptor. No, Talonflame has been my like he's been
I
the
love
one that I've been
Talonflame.
going around and just kicking everyone, like literally aerial wing, and then I'm done. It's really nice and really cheap.
Well, you can also get like all the like overpowered stuff very early. If you climb those roofs, you can catch yourself a Tyranitar or a Larvitar or whatever the early stage is, Dratini, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, Michael, this has been our deep dive into Pokemon. Got to catch them all, and we got to continue to catch them all because the leaks are leaking. And well, let's say that Totodile is leaking more often than the leaks that are on Twitter and X because we are expecting new games up until 2030, according to some leaks that we are seeing on social media. The new generation will be coming out probably the next few years, and that will be another reason for us to get back together. And not that we're not going to get back together in 1 month's time and talk about the entertainment industry as only two people who aren't the people you're talking about or thinking about only can. So, Michael, always a pleasure to talk about Pokemon and talk about the entertainment industry. Till next time.
Next time.